So today, the 24th of November, we looked at the Tower of Babel, and we're starting to look at the Tower of Babel. And we first looked at this blessing that was given to Noah, and as you see, that the blessing given to Noah, or Noah's obligation, is to be fertile and increase and fill the earth. And then we get to kind of the things that's given that people will be afraid of him, our animals will be afraid of him, and he will be able to eat those animals as well. So, and then we ask the question, if that is Noah's side of the bargain of kind of being fertile and multiply, does, from what we read here at the end of the story, Noah lived after the flood 350 years. All the days of Noah came to 950 years, and then he died. These are the lines of Shem, Ham, Japhet, the sons of Noah. Sons were born to them after the flood. So, and just look up here, Noah came out, and the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japhet. So the question is, does Noah do his part of fulfilling his part of the Brit? And we had some disagreement in class about that. Some said, well, because his sons do, then we can, and it says sons were born to them, or is this all highlighting the fact that Noah doesn't give birth it doesn't have any children after the flood at all, and only has the exact same children he had before. So, but the question arises, why Noah does not have any children after the flood itself, specifically after God says, your job, Noah, is to have babies. All right. So we then went ahead and looked at what happens from Noah dies, and then what happens next. And then we have this word, everyone on the earth had blank and blank. And so we read this over, and we noticed that there are a ton of names and tons of people here. This is really describing a fulfillment of that idea of Noah, of people expanding and people becoming divergent and people settling into kind of different places and building cities along the way. There's a lot of activity, there's a lot of birth, there's a lot of growth. And so the question is, what would you place here in this everyone on earth had blank and blank? You'd probably place something, adjectives that kind of describe that in some way. And yet, the very first next line that we get is, now all the earth was of Safa Echad, one language, and several things. So the question is, what happened to all of that diversity and all of that kind of spreading out in some kind of way? We then went ahead and we divided into smaller groups, and we looked at each part of the Tower of Babel story, and the goal, at least just for today, was to think of as many questions as possible from each of the psukim that we have. So this page and then this page. So it's a short story, but it's packed with some really interesting pieces. So that's really what we did today.